The basis of getting a FICO score over 750 is the concept of 1111. That's your end goal, is 24 ones in a row on your FICO credit score. It's like going to college with 24 A's to inflate your GPA. That's exactly what you're doing with trying to get 24 ones in a row. I call the concept 1111. I've said it hundreds of thousands of times. The concept of paying on Thursday is, credit card banks are really tricky. They'll send you one bill a month, and whether or not you pay that on time is hit or miss. You got to log in every week and pay your credit card every week for 24 months in a row. It's a fail-safe for you to be able to log in and check in to see what's going on, and you can absolutely legally pay your credit card bill more often than your credit card is due. That way you will never, ever pay late. That's the concept of Thursdays, paying and logging in every Thursday for a college student to graduate the FICO score over 750. The concept of deep underground credit knowledge, which is Duck 9, is simply where you're trying to avoid nines. And nines specifically are charge-offs. Nines are incredibly detrimental. A charge-off kills your FICO score. A parking ticket that you don't pay, a utility bill in your college apartment that you don't pay, a department store random credit card that you got for signing up for a t-shirt or a squeeze bottle or a 20% discount at point of sale that you don't pay when you go on a European vacation kills your credit score. Avoid nines. Avoid charge-offs. The last concept you'll love, okay, you got to do all 27 check boxes. There isn't a, oh, tell me the one thing that you would do about fixing and augmenting your college student FICO score. It's not the one thing you do, it's the 27 little things that you do. You can run your credit report without a trace. And that's just possible because you fill out this one form with a piece of paper. And that's another thing with credit disputes, you have to send it in via USPS. I've got way more posted down below. Chapter 1 of my book is the thesis chapter, which is you're damned if you do go to business school and you're damned if you don't go to business school. There's very much a catch-22, where if you don't go to business school, you don't get the network and the knowledge, where if you do go to business school, then you're saddled with the debt. So I beat the catch-22 with my book with that $27 investment, right? Chapter 2 is a super gritty chapter on treasure management. And treasure management is critical because we don't want to have money be a horrible, horrible master. Remember, it's a wonderful servant, and if you've got debt or are under the fiend of needing short-term money, you're going to make horrible decisions, whether or not you go to business school. So chapter 2 is my chapter on treasure management. It's the largest, grittiest, most granular chapter in my book, chapter 2. Chapter 3 is copy-paste your way to success. Notice a chapter of the book, people get it confused. In fact, they get it confused with my mentor's book, which is what they will never teach you at Harvard Business School. See, I get the two mixed up and they're interchangeable. Many great things have been copy-pasted. The Constitution, Thomas Jefferson copy-pasted John Locke. Wicked is a copy-paste of an old property. Copy-paste your way forward, chapter 3. Chapter 4 is on networking. I steal from the best speakers, Mark McCormick, obviously, but also Susan Rowan and how to work a room. Networking is one of the best things that you can do before you go to business school, or even if you are currently in business school, where I got to speak at that one that was in the Palo Alto area. Networking gets you a great Rolodex, and then my subsequent chapter, chapter 5, then talks about how do you get mentors from those awesome networking functions and accelerated networking. Chapter 5 of my book gets you your entire ROI for the $150 that you spend for, it's $170? You just raised the price. You know what? I'll charge you $150 if you buy it for $170 and then email me my phone number 650-283-8285. 8008. Chapter 5 is my chapter on mentorship. I talk about superstar mentors, cohort mentors, junior mentors, and also default mentors. Chapter 6 is on sales, and what I do is I take 20 years of sales experience and I boil it down into 20 pages. And I also mention a handful of movies that are all about sales, because why not make one of the most impossible things for most people to do fun? Referring to movies. Also, do you know that 80% of CEOs have some type of sales experience? I talk about sales in a fun way, and it's in chapter 6. Chapter 7 of my book is the most scandalous and fun chapter. It's chapter 7, my chapter on sex. And basically, I solved literally 3,000 years of sexual sex problems in the workplace, okay, in just 20 pages. So if you want to be entertained and soft porn isn't available, read my chapter 7. It's the chapter that Tiger Woods didn't read when I think he was, I think he went to Stanford, did he not? I think he did. Chapter 8 is my chapter on getting lucky and the karma of getting lucky, because I believe that karma can be tracked, measured, and channeled. And what I mean by that is there's an algorithm, I think, to hacking karma, to how to get lucky. So those are some of the things I explore in my chapter 8 of what they will never teach you at Stanford Business School. Chapter 9 is my personal favorite chapter. It completely pays homage to my mentor, Mark McCormack. Chapter 9 is about how everybody is a little bit entrepreneurial. And I also call it my chapter 9 because it's asinine, where if you don't own 100% of you incorporated, you're kind of dumb. And asinine is about 9 types of entrepreneurs where everybody's a little bit entrepreneurial. So that's my chapter 9 on entrepreneurship. Chapter 10 is about the lies of business and how to interrogate to get to the truths of it. Not only does it refer to Mark McCormack, my mentor, but also John Reed, who's the father of modern interrogation. And the lies of business are explored. It's a chapter all centered around how people misrepresent the truth and how to get to the core of what a person means, what they're trying to communicate, what they're hiding, and all the intricacies of lying in business. If you read one chapter in my book, read the failure chapter, how to fail forward. That's my chapter 11. And what I mean by failing forward is people who are successful, they're never successful because of some talent or ability. It's always how they weather a storm. It's always how they move forward from just a horrible circumstance and how they actually leverage it and use it as a springboard. That's my chapter 11. It goes over how my baseball coach talks about how he doesn't want to watch you pitch a good game. He wants to see how you bounce back from a crappy game. And believe you me, I had 1 or 2 of those. Chapter 11 is my chapter on failure. Chapter 12 is my chapter on that actually helped get me in to help teach a class at Stanford on technology entrepreneurship, and that is street smart. In fact, if you want to boil down Mark McCormack's books, what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, what they still don't teach at Harvard Business School, what they'll never teach at Harvard Business School, it's all about being street smart and coupling street smart with academically smart. So that's the method that you want to go ahead and approach, combining both academic smarts and street smarts. Chapter 13 is actually a book within a book, and that's my chapter on Dumb It Down, Sandbagging for Success. And what I mean by sandbagging for success is you want to try to guffaw and sandbag and minimize who it is that you really are, so that way you don't potentially offend people, so that way you have the duality of being awesome yet being extremely approachable. So that's my chapter on Dumb It Down, Sandbagging for Success. Chapter 14 is my last chapter of what they will never teach you at Stanford Business School, and that is my chapter on basically coming to the conclusion that you actually do want to go to Stanford Business School. It's a scandalous book title, and you need that, but Stanford's a great institution, and there's the tip. Once you do get in, if you get in, the first thing you want to do is you want to redact. When you go to community college, they call it quitting. When you go to the school that I went to and you leave, they call it quitting. But when you go to a grade school, they call it redacting. What you want to do is you want to redact for an awesome opportunity and never really finish Stanford Business School.